Hello dear children, welcome back to the online class. Children, today we shall start with a new poem, Home They Brought Her Warrior Dead by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Now children, first of all, Home They Brought Her Warrior Dead, right? Children, who is a warrior? A warrior is one who fights for his people, who fights for his country, right? As we say, soldiers. So home they brought her warrior dead. Now her. Here the very title says home they brought her warrior dead. Means the people, right, who were assisting or helping during the war, the other co-soldiers, they is referred to the other co-soldiers, and they brought her warrior dead. Her means, of course, it is a lady. So they is referred to the co-soldiers, co-warriors who brought the lady's warrior dead, lady's husband. Right? So the very title you need to understand, home they brought her warrior dead. Now, written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. As you can see in your book also, open to page number 68. So if I talk about Lord Alfred Tennyson, children, again, Lord Alfred Tennyson was a very profound writer. You can call, or you can say, he was a poet laureate. And that is the reason why, children, he is known as Lord Alfred Tennyson. So a poet laureate, born August 1809, right, and died in October 1892. And Alfred Lord Tennyson was a writer of Great Britain, as well as his contribution was also for Ireland, right? So Lord Alfred Tennyson wrote for Great Britain, even for Ireland, right? At the same time, his work is so well recognized in Great Britain that till date, children, till date, he is fondly remembered in both these places, Great Britain and Ireland. At the same time, if you talk about English literature, he is considered to be one of the foundation. Children, his work, his contribution towards English literature is remarkable. So, even till date, people remember him very fondly. At the same time, children, if you talk about this time period, this is the time period when Queen Victoria, it was the time of Queen Victoria. That is why this poem was written in the Victorian era or in the Victorian age, right? So what we dealt with first is the title of the poem. They is referred to the co-soldiers. Her is referred to the lady. Her warrior means the lady's husband who was a warrior, right? Now, we have also spoken about the poet Alfred Lord Tennyson. Now moving on to the main parts. That is, every poem has certain, every poem has a central idea and theme. Every poem has a setting. Every poem has a tone. At the same time, rhyme scheme. So if I talk about the central idea, as I was discussing just now, home they brought her warrior dead. So here, children, the entire poem revolves around the death of a warrior, right? Second, setting of the poem. Now, setting of the poem means where has the poem been set? The poem has been set, of course, in the Victorian era and during the times of the war, when the war was going on. So during that time period, this poem was somewhere written by Lord Alfred Tennyson. Next, what is the tone of the poem? Means entire poem when we will read, what tone? What is the tone of the poem? Children, now what do we understand by tone? If I sound very aggressive, then I call it a tone of anger. If I sound very polite and very so that is a tone of humbleness. isn't it? Right? So here the entire poem, since the poem is about death, it has to be, children, sorrowful. Right? And last rhyme scheme I will discuss, though it is ABAB. Let's see what we have in the book. But before that, let me give you a short introduction, and then I shall begin with the detailed explanation. First of all, this poem is subdivided into 4 stanzas. Right? Now, the brief introduction is such that the warrior has died and he has been brought by the co-soldiers to the lady. Now, the lady looks at her husband, right? Whereas the entire house, the entire people in that house, all the maidens, all the assistants, they were all profusely crying. They could not resist and they could not control themselves to see such a brave warrior fallen dead, right? But the poem deals with that the maidens are shocked. They are shell shocked to see that there is no tear in the eyes of the lady, right? There is no tear in the eyes of the lady, and they find that the lady is shocked, right? The lady is left in utmost shock. She cannot emote any sort of expression, right? That is what I termed it as shell shocked. Now everyone over there, they are very much worried. Why they are worried, children? If someone is like shocked, right, and in that state of you can say, in that state of mind, in that state of time, if the person does not cry, the person may die also. So all the maidens who were sitting there, they were all weeping, crying, and they wanted the lady to cry. So everyone tried their level best to make the lady cry, right? So that tears would well through her eyes. But none of them, except one who was able to bring tears, or who was able to make the lady cry, right? So this is the poem in short, where we find that every person in that house, every maiden, those who are working there, they are all crying, they are all weeping, they are not able to resist, they feel bad. But the only one who is not crying, or who was not crying, was the lady, because she could not accept the death of her husband. She loved him so much that she could not accept the reality which was there. Now children, let's take out page number 68. As it has, the first paragraph says, home they brought her warrior dead. She nor swooned nor uttered cry. All her maidens watching said, she must weep or she will die. All the maidens, as I said, no, children, the word she nor swooned. Swooned is already there. It is again an old English, lost consciousness. So she nor swooned nor uttered cry. So everyone who was sitting there, they were shocked to see that why the lady is not showing any sign of like grief and sorrow. See, they all wanted, all the maidens, all the assistants who were working there as maids, they all wanted the lady to cry, right? Why? The reason is she must weep or she would die. Otherwise she would die. So now in the very first paragraph, you see, children, all the last words you can mark: dead, cry, said, die. So dead, said, the first and the third word, and second and the fourth word are in the rhyme pattern. That is what it is, A, B, A, B. You can write it there also, right? Next paragraph says, then they praised him soft and low. As I said, that the people who were around there, they tried their level best to make the lady cry. So they spoke all great things about the warrior, right? Then they praised him soft and low, means softly, because already the warrior was dead. So they tried to relate all her great work in front of the lady. Called him worthy to be loved, means everyone should respect and love that warrior, because he gave his life only for his countrymen, only for his country. So all should have respect. Truest friend and noblest foe, means truest friend means he was a true friend, of the country and noblest foe. Why noblest foe has been used here? You can underline, children, that meaning is not given over there. Noblest means honorable, honorable foe. Children, one who actually works as a soldier, or one who does the work of a soldier, they are respected people, right? So even when the fight is going on, right, they have that respect even for their enemies, right? They have respect for their enemies. So he was an honorable foe, right? Noblest foe. Towards his enemies also, he had that respect, he had that integrity, he had that honor, right? Sometimes we play with the opponent team, right, and we consider them as our enemy. No, right? We should even in the game, we should consider our opponent. As far as the opponent is on the game, we should consider it like as a match, and after that we need to respect the integrity. So we should act in an honorable manner. Next, yet she neither spoke nor moved, means all these attempts went in vain. She never showed, or she did not show any sign of expression. Next paragraph says, stole a maiden from her place, lightly to the warrior stepped. Stole a maiden from her place, means one maiden moved lightly to the warrior, stepped, moved up to the warrior, right, where the dead body was lying. So one of the maiden moved and went near the dead body. Took the face cloth from the face, means the shroud, right? So that the dead person was actually covered with a shroud, right, white piece of cloth. So what she did just to make the lady, just to make the wife cry, she just opened her face so that the lady would see and tears would well. But yet she neither moved nor wept. Still it did not work. So she was so much shell shocked, because children, she had no one. She loved her husband very much and she was not ready to accept the truth. But to make her cry was also very important. So here what happens? Rose, a nurse of 90 years. Who is, children, Rose? Rose is the name of the nurse, right? Who was 90 years old. As I said that none of the maidens could make the lady cry, but but a nurse named Rose, who was 90 years old, was able to make the lady cry. Now how or what did she do? What she did, she set his child upon her knee, right? So a small baby was also there, right? So set his child upon her knee, like a summer tempest came her tears. So you can hear this second last line, that is the last paragraph, second last line. Like a summer tempest, tempest means thunderstorm, as if a thunderstorm had come and tears welled through her eyes. That line you can underline, and the figure of speech which has been used here it is being compared to the thunderstorm. Her tears are being compared to the thunderstorm. So there you can underline that line and write simile. S-I-M-I-L-E. Right? S-I-M-I-L-E. Simile. Simile has been used. And sweet my child, I live for thee. I live for you. And the lady took her son and wept, because she felt that the son had already lost her father, had already lost his father, and she was the only one to look after her son. So she felt bad for her son and tears welled through her eyes, that it is now me who is left to take care of you. And for her son, she started crying. So this is the poem, children, where we find the use of figure of speech has also been, like few figure of speech has been used, where I mentioned one is simile. Again you go to first paragraph and you can mark there second line, she nor soon, SS, that is alliteration. You can also underline the fourth line of the first paragraph, she must weep or she will die, right? So she and she, again alliteration. Fine. So this is the poem, and what message do we get? What is the theme? Children, warrior, right? A warrior is one, as I said, who fights for his country. A warrior is one who fights for his nation. So we have to have that respect for them, and at the same time we need to like sense, the disappointment and sorrow, right? We need to sense the sorrow sometimes undergone by their people at home, right? We sit at our home and enjoy peace and harmony, but who are the ones who actually contributes for that peace and harmony? It is they are the warriors, right? So we need to have that, you can say emotions, we need to have that emotion for their family members, right? So this is the poem, Home They Brought Her Warrior Dead. You can write down each and every point. It is not mentioned in your book, right? And the answer to these to this poem will be uploaded soon. Till then, children, have a good day. Thank you.